Hey you guys, so I wanted to talk to you guys about this dream that I had. In this dream, sorry, I got my kids, and I'm sorry that my edges look like this. I just had my baby not that long ago, and I'm having postpartum shedding pretty bad, but my hair is pretty long now. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this dream that I had. In this dream, I had my 144,000 abilities. I was at my auntie Monica's house. She has the same name as me. We're named after her. But yeah, I'm at her house with my kids and we're just visiting, and I guess they leave for something and it's just me and my kids in the house, and these two nephilim, like, hold on real quick. Be quiet, please. These two nephilim creatures come out of the forest. They were like they were those Bigfoot creatures, right? But like they had the face of a man, but the body of like, they look like giants. Their body of a man, but with hair all over them, but no hair on the face. The face looked human. And I remember they broke into my auntie Monica's house while me and my kids were in the house. And I hid my kids in the room and I told them be quiet. And so I'm looking through this hole and I'm not really scared because I can defend myself. I have my abilities. And so basically, I am observing them. And this is for the first time I get to see these creatures up close, like to see how they are able to hide all the time and be so elusive. So they were in my cousin's room, breaking into her stuff, stealing stuff. And I remember they had this device, and this device, they would turn a dial and it had weird writing on it too. They would turn a dial and they would go invisible, like kind of like it looked like Alien versus Predator. That's what it looked like. You know how Alien would, the Predator would kind of cloak himself? That's what they had. And then they would turn a knot, they would turn a dial again, and they could turn into looking like humans. I was like, this is probably how they stay so elusive and out of sight. They can go invisible, they can look like a human if they need to, but these ones had a face of a man, like a regular looking face, like a man, just a big face. They had just a big face, but like, you know what I'm saying? So basically they were talking to one another, and it seemed like it was like a son Bigfoot, like a younger, like a teenage Bigfoot, and then like a grown-up Bigfoot, and like the dad or something. And I remember they had red hair all over it, like a reddish brown colored hair, red all over their body except for the chest and the face. Their skin color was like a pinkish color, like a flesh color. And I noticed that the older one had big green eyes, and the other one had big light brown eyes, the younger one. And I remember the younger one was not as serious. He was like dancing, like they was acting very human. They acted very human, but they're not human. Not fully. And their faces looked human, but their body, they were so much bigger than a human though. Their faces looked like a human's face, but bigger. So I remember, oh, you okay here, baby? Oh, you okay? Am I waking you up? Hold on. Guys, my son wanted to be picked up. And so basically, so once I realized, like, one of the older one, guys, be quiet. This is why I do all my videos at night, but I wanted to get this video out there to kind of like be the second video to the last video I made. And baby, ew. So basically the older one started sniffing the air, like you know what I'm saying, like he started smelling, like I felt like he smelt us or something. And so like he like started looking, so he slowly looked to the area that we were in. So that's when I realized, oh, we're gonna have to fight. So I quickly left the room, and it did surprise him. I left the room, and it's like I grabbed them and threw them, like I grabbed them and I flew down the steps with them. But it's like these were big creatures, but they were like nothing to me. Like I had super strength. I grabbed them and I threw them out the door. And when they got back up real quick to their feet, when I came outside in front of my auntie's yard, because she has a pretty large backyard, side yard, all that's big. So he gets up real quick, and the older one goes with a deep voice, "This one has authority." And I was like, and then that's when we got to fighting. Go over there. That's when we got to fighting. And I remember I had super speed, but they were very fast. Like, they were on my tail. And I was trying to get them out of the area, get them out of populated areas. So I'm like running as fast as possible. And they are keeping up. I'm like, these things are fast. So I decided to fly instead of running, because my flying speed was quicker than my running. So, and I'm punching these creatures. And I'm up close and personal, and they stank. And I'm up close and personal with them, and I'm seeing the way that they look, their teeth. They have canine teeth, long, big canine teeth, and they're like, I'm punching them, and they're like, all you hearing is grunts and like, you know what I'm saying? But it's not killing them. I was like, because they're like pure muscle. Like, I have never seen thick, like their bodies are thick and full of muscle. So I'm like, okay, we're about to kill you another way. So I grabbed them both by their back hair. By the way, their hair is not fur. Their hair looked like human hair all over their body. It was very strange. It wasn't like fur. It was like hair, like a woman's hair. Anyways, I grabbed their hair from behind. I grabbed them from behind, and I flew all the way up. I was so high, I could see space. Like, that's how high I was. And I remember I used my supervision to look down to make sure when I dropped them, because at first I was just going to scare them into the forest. I was just going to scare them off, whatever, because normally these Nephilim typically don't come into populated areas like that. They don't mess with people for the most part, right? I was just going to scare them because they got there. And I remember the Lord told me, I heard him audibly say, if you don't kill these creatures, they're going to come back and they're going to go into people's houses and kill everybody. I said, oh, so they got to go. So, you know, I flew up with them in the sky. And I remember they were fighting me. They were grabbing my arms, but I was just too strong. I was too strong for that. My grip was heavy on them. And I looked down. I used supervision. I was thousands of feet in the air, but somehow I could look all the way to the ground. And when I found a place where there was nobody around, I dropped them all the way down, and I watched them drop all the way down and hit the ground. And so when I flew back down to the ground to check on them to see if they were dead, the younger one was dead on impact, but the older one was not. Man, this one was big. He was big, boy. He was massive. And I knew, and that did not kill him. That drop did not kill him. I was like, man, these things are colossal. So I took him again. I flew all the way up again, looked down to make sure there was nobody down there, and I dropped him. And I remember before I dropped him, he looked at me with this rage in his eyes, and I remember there was blood in his eyes. Like, there was blood in the white parts of his eyes. And I remember his eyes were so big and green. And he looked at me, and he was afraid. And I dropped him again. And this time, once he hit that, when he died on impact, the dream ended. And this was the first dream I ever had where I actually could, like, God is like revealing to me like the creatures that we're gonna be fighting. But I was changed before the rapture. Like, I had in this dream, like, the rapture had not happened, but I had my abilities. So I wonder if this is God confirming that he's going to give us our abilities before the rapture, because even my body was changed. Like, I didn't even have, like, my body was changed. I wasn't fully 100% changed into the supernatural, like, body I'm gonna have eventually, but I was changed. Like, I didn't have, like, wounds and things were healed. Like, I had a couple of C-sections that was gone, like, you know. So I'm just ahead. My hair was different. Now my hair is extremely curly. It grows very long, but it was very long in this dream. My hair grows pretty freaking long. So, but then this dream, like, it was even longer. Like, so yeah. This was just an amazing dream, amazing, powerful dream. See, bye-bye.